going to be about. We basically have Farhad, Fatakia, Umair, Bhatti, Taimour, and Noorani as the composition of this debate. While on the composition side we have Ehab, Ansari, Umair, Malik, and Zain, Khalid. The topic for the debate is
this House would elect a Republican to the White House.
Guys, and we will come and stick to recording it and be as loud as you can be. So let's begin this debate.
After every 8 minutes, we have to stop the recording. Can I start the recording again?
Till the next one.
Because at a time it can only record 20 minutes.
Alright, can I begin?
No, wait a second.
What time?
To the timer. Alright, ready? Start. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. He came in with a manifesto of change. He came in to change how things operated, change that he brought us. He assumed that he was going to bring us change that we could believe in. Unfortunately, he muddled up, and at the end of the day, he's robbed the American people of what truly they define themselves as. Ladies and gentlemen, Obama has failed, and only a Republican can fix America. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to our definitions for today. We're defining this house as the American people, obviously. We're defining and the rest of the definition are quite self-explanatory. By Republican, we mean whichever Republican wins the candidacy of the Republican National Congress, of the Republican Party, and whoever competes against Obama will do a better job. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is our stance for today's debate? We firmly believe that Obama and democratic policies have been detrimental to the American people, and it is Republicans who can fix this. And so our burden of proof is twofold. We have to explain why Obama and democratic policies have done bad to the American people, and secondly, why a Republican and Republican policies can fix this mess. Alright? For that, we're going to have 3 lines of arguments. Firstly, I'll be talking about the economy, why it's so important for the American people, how Obama really ruined it, and how Republicans can make it better. Secondly, I'll be talking about how, if should a Republican be elected, we will finally have a White House that's in line with what American people want. It will be finally in line with the American people. And thirdly, my second speaker, Umair Malik, will be talking about foreign policy failures and how that fits in with the greater picture. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin with the economy. Now, first of all, why is the economy so important? It's important for the simple reason that it has been the cornerstone of the American people historically. It has defined the American people. Why? Because you have the American dream, ladies and gentlemen. The American dream, no thank you, Farhad. The American dream, that is, that if you work hard, if you come in, it doesn't make a difference whether you're a pauper, you can make a lot of money. This led to the influx of people from all over the world coming to America, just like Rockefeller said, you get up early, you work hard, you dig gold, and you make a fortune. And we believe what was extremely important with this was that people should be allowed to make a lot of money. And the fact remains that with a low taxation rate, with deregulation, that was conducive to such innovation. And we saw this coming. We saw this coming consistently, no thank you, until we had democratic policies such as Bill Clinton initiating the home loans. According to Bill Clinton, everyone deserved to buy a house, and we find that extremely commendable, ladies and gentlemen. However, if you're buying a house with money that you do not have, and what that will do, and you end up getting a lot of debt because of it, that isn't good, and that is what we call intervention. Something that our side of the house contends is really, really bad. Do you think intervention is good, sir?
Actually, I don't, but the problem I'm having is, can you just please remind me how we got into the worst recession? What president was it who deregulated the financial markets?
Brilliant! How did we get into the worst recession? We got into the worst recession because deregulation combined with pegging everything to the subprime mortgages led us to this recession. Who initiated the subprime mortgages, mind you? It was Bill Clinton when he made this a social policy that everyone should have a house. We firmly believe that is absolutely wrong. No thank you, Farhad. We firmly believe that if you can buy a house, if you have money to buy a house, well and good. But if the government intervenes to make sure that you can buy a house when you don't have that money, that is not good. Because deregulation in and of itself isn't bad, ladies and gentlemen. Capitalism is what got America to this point. And it's simply because it was this subprime mortgage crisis started by Bill Clinton that led to this happening. That was the big issue. So ladies and gentlemen, let's just get back to this thing. No, thank you. So we had financial crisis, like Umer rightly pointed out, a problem caused by democratic policies. How did they counter it? Let the free market work? No, ladies and gentlemen. They added Keynesian policies and added stimulus package. What did that do, ladies and gentlemen? Unemployment back then was bordering 10%. Today it's 9%. It really made no difference because what happened was the government took an inefficient industry, didn't let the market correct itself, and what that led to was not just a lot of people still being laid off and unemployment still the same way, but an accumulation of government debt. Because whenever you have so much intervention, no thank you, you have a huge, large accumulation of government debt. And what do we have because of that government debt today, ladies and gentlemen? We have a government debt worth around 100% of the GDP, $14 trillion worth of debt. And more importantly, Standard & Poor's, if you all would realize, had downgraded America, unlike a lot of other nations. So we think that it was these democratic policies, no thank you Farhad, it was these democratic policies that led to this crisis. And to top it off, ladies and gentlemen, the financial crisis started off in 2008, got questions in 2009. What else happened in 2009, ladies and gentlemen? The healthcare bill. Ladies and gentlemen, the healthcare exacerbated the misery of the American people because not only were taxpayer money going to bailing out inefficient industries, now taxpayer money was going out to paying for other people's medical bills. And once again, that isn't what the American dream was all about. The American dream was, no thank you, was all about fending for yourself and doing what you want because you need to make your own success. So ladies and gentlemen, why do we think that Republicans can do this better? Republicans can do this better simply because across the board they are anti-intervention. They want the market to correct itself. No thank you. And so that brings me, and that's why this clearly proves why Republicans would be better to the economy when they repeal Obamacare and whatnot. Secondly, ladies and gentlemen, how does it feel in line with what the American people want finally? Ladies and gentlemen, there's a dichotomy within Obama himself, and this is something which you guys should really pay attention to. He mobilized the liberal voters of the world. His manifesto was all about change, and he went on with a very liberal mandate. However, ladies and gentlemen, and for 2 years, 2008 to 2010, he had a majority in both the House of Representatives and the Senate to do whatever he wished, please. However, did he do everything? No, ladies and gentlemen, it was his policy that led to the Tea Party being made. It was his policy that led to this anti-incumbent conservative sentiment, making Democrats lose in both houses in the 2010 elections. And that's what we think has led to this American conservative sentiment. Now what's the problem with this, ladies and gentlemen? The problem is that Obama still makes himself out to be a liberal, wherein his policies such as Guantanamo Bay, such as Don't Ask, Don't Tell, such as Libya, such as Afghanistan, such as signing in Patriot Act without consulting with other people, that is all clearly centrist. So even though he makes himself out to be a liberal, he is in fact a centrist. And what does that do, ladies and gentlemen? That makes sure that he whines and cries whenever there's a conservative agenda on the table because he wants to prove that he's conservative, he's liberal, but at the end of the day, he still passes out. We saw that with the Bush tax cut, ladies and gentlemen. It's my protected minutes, so you should be paying attention. So, ladies and gentlemen, now that Obama is such a centrist and yet makes himself out to be liberal, that detracts away from policy. When he's playing ball with John Boehner or having a beer with Mitch McConnell, it all takes away from policy. If we have a Republican on board, it will streamline the process because the legislature, the House of Representatives, Congress, they want conservative agendas followed, and Obama is simply perpetuating stagnation. Ladies and gentlemen, because Obama has done a lot of bad things, because democratic policy has ruined America, and because Republicans can do better things with it, we beg to propose.